This will actually be an example of one of our Autodesk learning partners, so one of our close collaborators in the learning and training space. I'm pleased to introduce Regis Ngenzi, who is a mechanical engineer, lecturer, and instructor at Nesisa Training Academy in Rwanda. And the Nesisa Training Academy is, as I mentioned, an Autodesk learning partner who works with our community on rolling out training engagements and training opportunities on Autodesk software. What we will hear today is a review of an initiative that has been recently rolled out in Rwanda, including both faculty members and students at polytechnical colleges. And we will hear about how digital design tools such as Fusion 360, but also CAM skills have been incorporated into this project. So it's my pleasure to welcome you. Thank you for being here with us. And we will hand over to you to share this exciting program with us.
Thank you, Thomas. Let me start by sharing my screen here. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet. It may be loading still.
Sure.
Yes, now it's appeared. So I think we're all good.
All right. So thank you for the introduction, and good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you're joining from. My name is Regis Ngenzi. I'm presenting from Rwanda. I'm a mechanical engineer with experience in leadership of technical projects for more than 10 years. I hold a master's degree in mechanical engineering from Arts et Métiers Polytechnic in Paris, and a bachelor's degree from Toulouse University in mechanical engineering as well. So I'm here on behalf of Nesisa Training Academy, which is a local professional training company specializing in computer-aided design, computer-aided engineering, computer-aided manufacturing, and building information modeling softwares. Nesisa is also a licensed software reseller for Autodesk and other softwares. Of course, you can feel free to visit our website, which is here on this slide, as you can see. Well, without delaying, let's go through the experience we had with the Rwanda Polytechnic. The colleges, polytechnic colleges in Rwanda with Fusion 360. So, the environment of the higher education system comprises mainly two categories in Rwanda, the research-based universities and the polytechnic colleges. Rwanda Polytechnic, through the regional colleges, provides technical and vocational training. And in both categories, you have public institutions and private institutions. Now, let's discover together our focus group that we delivered the workshops to. So we delivered these workshops to 4 of the polytechnic colleges in Rwanda. In Rwanda, we have 9 polytechnic colleges, but we only chose 4 for the reasons I'll explain later. And we have also 31 research-based universities. That's to show you the proportion. So why did we choose the 4 to run this? This is the proportion I was talking about, just to illustrate the numbers. These are the number of students that enrolled in 2021 in polytechnics. We had 13,000 students that enrolled in 2021. That represents 15% of the total population of the university in Rwanda. The rest being 75,000 students, 85%, in the rest of the universities. That was just to set the context of who we're working with today. Now, how did we choose the 4 colleges? Our choice, was led by their curriculum. Mechanical engineering students have in their curriculum these 3 components: computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, and computer-aided engineering. Among the 9 colleges that I highlighted earlier, not all of them have these options. So only the 4 in Rwanda, we will have to go through computer design and manufacturing, and that's how our choice was made to work with them on this. Now, without delaying, I want to go directly to what we did exactly in the workshops. How they were organized, how was the experience, what was the feedback from the attendees, and what are the next steps? What can we do next after these workshops? So, as I touched on it in the introduction, these workshops were run by Industrial Training Academy, or of course supported by Knowledge Point. All workshops took place in the Kigali IPRC, which is the center we have in the capital of Rwanda. That was in May this year. We ran all the workshops during the weekends. The IPRC Kigali, by the way, IPRC stands for Integrated Polytechnic Regional College. So the one in Kigali provided us with a computer classroom with high-speed internet and projector that comfortably can accommodate a class of 40 persons, if not more. But of course, we chose to run with less, a class of 20 to 25, so that the interaction can be reasonable, and we can give feedback as required. So how was this set? Well, the attendance comprised of 192 students and their lecturers. The lecturers were 20. And to be able to deliver the workshop to all of them, it required 10 sessions. And we laid out these sessions on 7 days. So, some days we run only 1 session, and some other days were split into 2. So in the end, we used 7 days in total. Each session will last between 4 to 5 hours. That will include stalling, an introduction to the Fusion 360, but I will come to these details in the coming slides. So the first day we started with all the 20 lecturers, so that they can get the first insight of the product, and maybe help us also prepare the classes before they come for their sessions. And then next were workshops for different student classes, and each time the class will come to join with their respective lecturers. So that means lecturers had the right to 2 sessions. Now let's see what was in the workshops, themselves. Before we start each session, the attendees has to have their account registered on the Autodesk website. If not, we will create it right there. Students and educators, they can get a free 1-year education access to Autodesk products and services. And they are renewable every year. Every year you can renew it as long as you're still eligible. In other words, as long as you're still either a student or a lecturer. They are requested to upload their ID that shows that they are really students, and then it's a process that will take something like 4 or 5 minutes. It's really quick. After the account was created and accepted, and then will come the installation, if not done earlier, of course. So we have them install the software, Fusion 360. So this is a desktop software, but it's important to mention as well that you can use Fusion 360 online through just a browser. But it was convenient to use the desktop software here. But of course, we showed that and these the two options to use that you can use it through the browser and also through this desktop application, with a bit more features compared to the browser one. After the installation, then the workshop can start. So what did we do in the workshop themselves? After installation, we will set the context and explain to the attendants, the place of such a tool as Fusion 360 in the mechanical production lifecycle, the added value in the product innovation, productivity innovation, process innovation. We will showcase the comprehensiveness of Fusion 360 vis-a-vis the engineering design process, as I mentioned earlier. Then we will go through the user interface. To some parts of it will look familiar, vis-a-vis the software they used to use in their colleges, but some parts are new. Some parts were new. I can mention here, for example, the application bar with its cloud components, the canvas, which is really unique to Fusion 360 and maybe Inventor. The difference between timeline and browsers and so on. So, here we're trying to get them familiar with the interface so that they don't get lost during the product creation workshop. Then comes the hands-on workshop, which consists of creating an enclosure assembly. You have the picture here on the screen. This is the product we developed together. The assembly is composed of the lens, which is here, if you can see my mouse. It's a kind of glassy in the middle. And we have a base in red. And we have the cover, which is in white here. We have a handle, which is blue, and some screws to hold everything together. So this workshop, tries to cover most of the aspects of Fusion 360. So we created really from scratch 3 parts: the base here in red, the cover in white, and the lens, the glassy part in the middle. The blue part was imported from cloud. This is important because it illustrates a situation where you're developing a product, for example, and you don't have to, to create all the parts. You can purchase some parts and create some and assemble this together. But during the design phase, you need to see the whole product all together in your software. So that's what we were mimicking, and we then imported the screws. This is also a very common process. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Standard parts are there, and we know their parameters. It's not worth really redrawing them, so you can just download them from online. For example, in this case, we took it from a hardware supplier online database. This case, it was Mastercard, which is integrated in Fusion 360. Other aspects covered during the workshop are, the part creation itself, the assembly, the components, the material appearance and the difference, the decals. Here on this drawing, you can see under the assembly, you have the logo of Rwanda Polytechnic as a decal, glued to the surface, so to say. So this was a demo of the decal right there. And we won't even think like form modes, where we use T-spline modeling, which is a component that have been introduced in Fusion 360, as opposed to just parametric design. We went through different workspaces. Workspaces are very important in Fusion 360. Of course, we spent most time in the design workspace, but also we introduced the generative design workspace, the animation workspace, the manufacturing workspace, the drawing workspace, We did render our product to have a photorealistic image of the product. And we did also run a simulation on the handle, to see how we can withhold pressure or stress provided to that part. So we had all these demos. And at the end of each session, we will have a Q&A session. And, we collected the statistics here. Let me show you the categories of the questions that were asked. In first, representing 60% of the questions were questions around how to get more training, on Fusion 360. So the attendants wanted to learn more. They some of them actually expected the training, but this was just a workshop to to introduce to them how it worked. And really, most of them wanted to get more training, and they were happy with Fusion 360, especially comparing it to what they were used to use in their everyday works. The second category of the questions, representing 25%, was the pricing. This came mostly from the students in the final years. They knew that maybe at the end of their year, they will lose access to their students' accounts. So they wanted to know, how it costs so that they can purchase it at the end, maybe to use it in their projects. So, we refer them to the website, Autodesk websites. Also, told them, have some free access if you're not using it commercially. You have some monthly subscriptions, yearly or 3 years. So all these details can be found on the website. So we explained to them how to go through that. The third category was, the difference between competitor softwares. Even though we explained this during the the workshops, some people wanted again to grasp more advanced differences that you can discern, between other softwares and Fusion 360. And 10% of the question was just varied questions, which can go from how to get certified or how to join this training academy. Well, we complete the workshops, as you can see, with a positive feedback, which motivated us to go further with the initiative. And here comes the next steps. As the next steps, we are looking at this time the research-based university. The focus was University of Rwanda this time. And we also had the thought of starting a kind of skill development scholarship inside Nziza Training Academy for the student who'd want to join that, which we did. In University of Rwanda, let me come back a little bit to this slide. If you see the pause sign here, this means we're still in talks with the University of Rwanda. We didn't start this initiative yet, but on skills development scholarship, we started. We're running it already. So coming back to University of Rwanda, we are targeting the bachelors in mechanical engineering. They have 2 specializations. Production and manufacturing, and plant engineering. The total of students is around 100 people, and they're all located in one college, College of Science and Technology. And our focus, of course, will be, again, CAD, CAM, and computer-aided engineering. Now, on the side of the skill development scholarship, we coming back to this again, as you can see on the top here, we had a list of candidates that was allowed or awarded this scholarship. Actually, we had to take online an application process, and we selected the 9 best here, you can see, but at the end, actually, the 10th was taken in as well. So now we have 10 of them. 10 members. What do? We have one group project that everyone is working on. And we have, each student will have his own project. As we go through the project, he will learn how to, to take care of his own project. Now, what are the steps? We go through a 10-step design process. Actually, this process is uh, inspired and adapted from the engineering design process book by Youssef Haik and Tamer Shaheen. We use brainstorming techniques, mind maps, and other creativity tools to develop our products. We started with a problem definition, and this problem had to be relevant to the local context and shared by many people in the community. We do this through strict process. The aim here being to show them, most of them are young students, didn't work on mechanical engineering projects yet, so it's very important to show them the process you have to go through, and show them you don't just jump on a software and start drawing. You need to be solving a real problem. You need to be relevant to the context. You need to serve its purpose. So the first step of the process is the need and market analysis. Then we go to the requirements. We generate the functions and sub-functions. We will create technical specifications so that we can make a technical product. And then we create concept of the whole product, but also the components and sub-components. We'll go through the evaluation of the concept to like the best, and keep one or two to develop, and the other ones can be in a parking lot somewhere to be used later. And then from 7, as you can see, these steps can be Fusion 360 can be used on these steps, starting with embodiment design and detailed analysis and simulations, as you saw earlier. Manufacturing, here we can use CAM, we'll be using CAM. And marketing, here I want to talk about the rendering to, to create the photorealistic images of the products, but also the animations that can be used in marketing. So this is the process we're going through. To date, we went through 1, 2, 3, 4. We are at the 4th stage, specifications. And next we'll be attacking conceptualization and evaluation of the concept we have created. So far we're happy with how it's going. Yeah, it's important to mention that for this group project, at the end of it, and this is a training academy, we finance the development or the production of the physical prototype. Well, we keep our minds open, and we are looking out for other opportunities to, to where we can take this next. And we're happy of how it's going to date. That was our workshops, and we're proud of what we achieved so far. I thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed this. And the floor is open for your questions and remarks, if any. Thank you. I see, sorry, if you allow, I see a question here that I can answer to. Does this offer training, offer any online training session on Fusion 360? Not to date, not for now. We still are class-based, but we're looking at that in the future.